Boom, 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 boom. Video time. Feeling blessed because I am blessed to still be here. When I look at my life, especially when I got to probably age of 18, 19, and the stuff that I got involved with, the people I got involved with, the stupidity of some of the decision making that I did at the time, and I talk about drug dealing. I talk about the effects that drug dealing had on me and how it made me feel. It was never a fuck you to the government, or it was never a fuck you to the police. I'm not that person. Do you know what I mean? I'm not that person. But when I started drug dealing, it gave me a full sense of ego. It gave me a full sense of friendship. What I mean by that is, I was talking to a good friend the other night about this. So you start boxing off bits and pieces here and there, and you think these people are your friends. Same with when I did the door. Same thing with being a doorman years ago, pubs and clubs and that, Everybody's your best friend. Same when you're selling drugs. Do you know what I mean? Everybody's your best friend, but it's all fake, it's all bullshit. And like, when I was younger, I was groomed into it. So I understand grooming. I was even groomed into fucking sex, But with the drug dealing, I was groomed into that. And it was something that I wouldn't have found on my own, if I can be honest. I wouldn't have started selling drugs on my own. It wasn't a thing that I was. I didn't even enjoy drinking alcohol. It wasn't me, if that makes sense. It wasn't who I was, and I was sent down that road by someone older than me, who groomed me into selling drugs. But at the time, I was 18, just turning 19. I was old enough to say no. But when it's someone older than you and their peer pressure, and and you think you're the fucking big man, and I wasn't the big man. I was a fucking idiot. Because what you don't understand is, when you're, say, a street dealer or whatever, or a fucking house dealer, or whatever the fuck you want to call yourself, a fucking prick, there's someone above you that's making more money than you. So you're taking all the risks, yeah? You're driving around or running around here and there, selling little bits and bobs, over a weekend. And there's someone above you that's making much more than you are. Much more than you are. And they're not taking the risk that you're taking. They're taking a risk financially while they're outlaying a bit of money to buy a block in or whatever. But they're not taking the street risk that you're taking. And it's hard to tell these youngsters nowadays, because why would you logically go and work in Asda for £8, £9 an hour when you can earn in your road? You might be able to earn, once everything's boxed off, your profit, you might be able to earn, say, 200 to 300 quid a night if you're selling Class A's profit, So that's maybe nearly close to £2,000 a week, right? And so why would you logically go and work in fucking Asda's or Tesco's or fucking... But the logic to it, as I got older, the realisation that if you get caught, yeah, you get 18 months. You get 4 years, depends how many bits and bobs, you know what I mean? How big time you fucking thought you were. You go to prison, you get sentenced, I don't know, 4 years. We give you a 4-year sentence, you do 2 years, good behaviour. You work out how much each hour's cost you. Do you know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying by that? So you're Billy Big Balls when you're earning £2,000 a week. Now work out the money that you've fucking lost in prison. Does that make sense? The time you've lost in prison. Weigh that up against that £2,000 a week, and you'll be surprised how you feel about it. And how you feel that, fuck me. I fucked up there, you know, and with, I always try and see both sides because that's the way my brain works. You know, there's always going to be a market, especially in this day and age. Well, there wasn't any day and age, you know. Go through the centuries, alcohol was the thing, do you know what I mean? Or fucking mushrooms, or this. The human being has always wanted to pursue a relationship with chemicals because our brain is created by your reality is chemically based. So where your reality is chemically based, you're always trying to look for a new chemical to create a new part of consciousness, a new reality for yourself. Whether you subconsciously know that or consciously know that, that's the truth. You know, you're always looking for that little oomph or that little change in your reality that comes from a chemical. We seem to be quite weak like that, human beings. You know, we don't realise that the greatest chemicals that we can have for ourselves are created by our own bodies and minds anyway. We naturally have this in us. But yeah, like going back to drug dealing, it led me down a path which then obviously led to quite serious crime. And I mean quite fucking serious crime. I think I'm going to be honest on this video. I've always tried to be honest on videos. I always say that. I'm going to be honest on this video. Look at every video I've ever done. I'm going to be honest on this video. Really, Lee? But like and I've had over the years severe mental health problems. You know, I still hear voices to this day. You know, I had a time where I thought I was being watched all the time on the bus, here, there, and everywhere. I thought fucking satellites were following me in the sky. Do you know what I mean? I was that far gone. I'll be honest. You know, I was that mentally unwell that I perceived all this to be real. You know, and it's a scary time when the brain no longer knows consciously what is real. Now, it's real to you. So, you know, my voices, I'll be walking down the road and I'll have a thought, yeah? And my voices will jump onto that thought and give me advice. It's fucking bizarre. My world is bizarre. So they give me advice. Oh, no, Lee, maybe you shouldn't do that. Or, yeah, that's a good idea, Lee. So I have these voices talk to me. Like, yeah, that's a brilliant idea, Lee. You know, it's over the years, they've actually helped me. At the beginning, they nearly killed me. I've said that before in videos. At the beginning, they nearly ended my life. If it wasn't for Al being alive, I would have killed myself. Because of my journey, up to that point, I've been raped fucking multiple times as a kid. I've gone through the drug dealing shit. You know, gone through fucking hurting people as well, which that's not me. Do you know what I mean? You know, I've done some evil things to evil people, but I've also done some horrible things to good people. Does that make sense? And that is one of the worst things that happens in that life. You know? It really is one of the worst things that happen in that life. Yeah. So so the mental health stuff has over the years created a lot of problems for myself. Like I was speaking to one of my old drug workers the other week. I was lucky to see her. It wasn't planned. I was blessed to see her. And we were having a chat and that, and another lady come over who knew me, who was looking after me at the time a few years ago as well. And she said, I always thought you had ADHD, Lee. That's what she said to me. She said, because most people, when they're on speed, they're fucking million miles an hour, blah, blah, fucking blah. But I'm a million miles an hour without speed. My brain's just consciously fucking, do you know what I mean? Although not lately. I'm very tired lately, but that's another story because, yeah, whatever. Pain makes you tired. It's not going to be another story. I'm going to fucking tell you on this video. Look, I'm in...